So there I was, stuck in traffic, a rare traffic jam in Monterey on Fremont Boulevard, which you can get every day at about 5:40. And the bumper sticker on the car in front of me said, "Don't believe everything you think." And I was stuck behind this car for so long that it blazed itself into my memory. And that got me to thinking about what our thoughts are. Raise your hand if you've had a thought today. Almost everybody. Raise your hand if you faced adversity in the past week, in the past day, in the past minute. So today I'm going to talk about what the nature of that adversity is and its relationship to our thoughts. First, I'm going to talk about what our thoughts are and how many of them we have. And then I'm going to talk about the cause of the suffering, what creates that adversity in us. And then I'm going to give you one thing that I've found that will help achieve a little more peace through inquiry into our thoughts. Neuroscientists estimate that we have somewhere between 50,000 and 80,000 thoughts per day. That's approximately one thought every second. By the time I'm finished speaking, you will probably have had at least 400 new independent thoughts. Now, most of these are not necessarily conscious, but neuroscience has shown that they're there anyway. When our bodies are asleep, our brains are running sprints and marathons. They're going crazy. Raise your hand if you dream when you're asleep. Pretty much everybody. And when you dream, that is a world of pure thought. Have you ever dreamt that you could fly? Mm-hmm. And in your dream, you believe that. Have you ever tried to fly when you're not dreaming? Usually doesn't go so well. But in the dream, we believe that. So what this shows is that thoughts can be either peaceful or stressful. They can either cause us to be at ease and in the present moment, or they can cause us to be tense, to suffer from adversity. And in fact, I will go one step farther and tell you that all suffering is a result of believing stressful thoughts. All suffering is a result of our believing our stressful thoughts. Now, I can see you don't believe that. But by the end of the speech, I hope that you will at least consider it. What kind of stressful thoughts arise just in ordinary interactions? He lied to me. She shouldn't criticize me. He shouldn't yell at me. Why isn't this traffic moving? These are all stressful thoughts, and these create tension and suffering. So when we are believing these thoughts, that is what creates it. Because, let's take somebody yelling at me. If somebody's yelling at me, am I being hurt? No. Where's the suffering? It's all in my mind. It's all in my head. And so it is with you. Most stressful thoughts we have are shoulds or shouldn'ts, so we should on ourselves. She shouldn't criticize me. He shouldn't yell at me. That car should move faster. In fact, all road rage incidents are examples of people believing what should or shouldn't be. But then ask yourself, is it really true? And that becomes such an important question, because as Anais Nin said, we see the world as we are, not as it is. And so all of this, whether we project peace or whether we project suffering, that is how we experience the world. It's all in our heads, all of it. Now, I know you may find it hard to believe, but let's, for the sake of argument, for the rest of the speech, accept that as it is. So what can we do about it? The short answer is that if you want to not think, you can't. Because as I said, every second, thoughts are running through our brains without any control of ours. We have no control over our thoughts. What we do have control over is what we believe. So just as in a dream, if I believe I can fly, then I can. When I'm not dreaming, if I believe that I fly and I can't, then I'm going to feel bad. Why can't I fly? Darn it! The only thing we can control is what we believe. So how can we deal with this? And I've discovered something through something called the work of Byron Katie, and it's such a wonderful, simple way of dealing with this. It consists of 4 questions and a turnaround. And I'll show you what that looks like. The 4 questions. Is it true? Every time you think something, ask yourself, is it true? And then the second one, a lot of times we think, well, yeah, it's true, but then can you absolutely know that it's true? And the third question is, how do you react when you believe the thought that it's true? And finally, who would you be if you didn't have that thought? If everything was exactly the same, but you didn't have the thought that was causing you stress. Let me give you an example. Here's a stressful thought. My wife shouldn't criticize me when she's criticizing me. My thought is, she shouldn't criticize me. Is it true? Well, yeah, it's true she shouldn't criticize me. I didn't do anything wrong. Can I absolutely know that it's true? Well, first of all, she is criticizing me, so if I say she shouldn't, then I'm really arguing with reality. And second, well, maybe I'm not so innocent after all. So I can't absolutely know it is true. But how do I react when I believe the thought she shouldn't criticize me and she's criticizing me? I get angry. I judge her for being, for being too critical. I judge myself for being bad. I'm a bad husband. I didn't do good. These are all very stressful thoughts. Who would I be if I didn't believe the thought that she shouldn't criticize me when she's criticizing me? Well, I could just be listening to the pain that she's experiencing. I could hear what's beneath it. I could hear the truth in what she's saying. And what's the turnaround? She shouldn't be criticizing me. She should be criticizing me. What's another turnaround? I shouldn't criticize her. When I judge her for criticizing me, then I'm criticizing her. And the third turnaround? I shouldn't criticize me. Because if I take that on, that's only because I'm criticizing myself. And so we have all these thoughts. These thoughts cause all of our suffering. But if you inquire into your thoughts, you will find that you don't have to believe everything you think. Madam Toastmaster.